Hello there guys, it's Joey and this is a new spell set for the store. This was a request. So the spell set is called the Stag and the Swan, and the request was for a spell set containing energies for the Celtic goddess Brigid, depending on your pronunciation. Brigid tends to be mine, as well as Coronanos. And there was a request for pink being involved in the creation of the items, along with the individual items as requested. There will be two pillars for the lady whose set it is. It's just the other one is setting, but I wanted to record the video and show you what everything looked like, and it's, you know, we're almost ready with this particular set. So as I was working through the requested part, I was like, okay, so we need to find a balance between the goddess energy here and the god energy, and the idea of having pink involved, but then sort of where else are we taking it on a colour magic level became quite prominent within this set. Because pink was requested, therefore it sort of put pink and colour magic at the fore of the mind when evaluating the energies and the spiritual and magical properties that we were applying, and the relationship between these two deities. So we went with pink, green and white. The energies are very much about renewal. It's about moving from Imbolc to Ostara, so moving through into spring, and it becomes that journey, the first blossoms on the trees, the first buds in the flowers in the ground, the opening up of the forest to life, the woodland budding into life. And renewal is something which plays into energies of Brigid and Coronanos, particularly when the focus is nature. The Stag and the Swan element of this come from the animal kingdom relationships to the Celtic gods, and the fact that nature is inextricably bound to the Celtic pantheon. And this reflection of growth within nature, these first blossoms on the trees, tree magic. There is a correlation of tree magic which underpins both Brigid and Coronanos, as well as the idea of the hunt in nature, the wild hunt, the fey element that comes through the wild hunt, which also gives rise to energies of fertility, birth, and that lusty sexual nature, which can apply to both. It becomes the fire within ourselves, the fire within nature, without fire energy taking over the set, which I felt that we didn't want to go there. The lady's other set, which is in the works, is much more fire-based, and I wanted this one to be much more grounded in a earthy fertility, an earthy sensuality. So, let's have a look at the items individually. We'll move these out of the way. I think we'll start with the pillar. So, the pillar is white. And quite by its own accord, the light's a bit crazy, we ended up with sort of a ring around the bottom. Some of the herbs created a ring, and that was really interesting to me. It kind of took its life of its own, and what's actually happened is you kind of have like the pink here and then the green down there, and that's kind of happened naturally in the creation process. So it's kind of mirrored how everything else already looked, and I was super excited about this when I saw this had happened. I was like, we're on the right track, because this has naturally sort of fallen in with the energies of all the other items with the physical presentation. The magic on a visual level has lined up, and I was like super excited about that. So of course we went with the pink, which kind of, I think you can see it from this angle quite well with the light being kind of crazy, is it kind of almost glows down, and it kind of has that ethereal, otherworldly, almost fey energy moving through. And then there are the votives, which I wanted half and half. It's been a little while since I've done some half and half spell votives. I really enjoy them on a visual level, and I think when you are paying homage to a god and a goddess in this respect, and you want the energies of both, it becomes kind of important to have that duality within, and a kind of the half and half candle is very structurally half and half, so it's paying homage to both. I like how it also reflects the idea almost of trees with their pink blossoms as we move forward from in bulk, and the life coming back, as well as flowers. So it could almost be like this, you know, stem and bud. And I really like that interplay of Coronanos being the stem, the grounded, the earth, the root, very earthy, down in the earth, very robust, and then Brigitte being the bud, the flower, the beauty, the poetry of all these things, the blooming forth, and one playing into the other because of course the interconnectedness of stem and bud. It kind of has a sensual connotation there as well. I really felt quite strongly with this and the spell cauldron in the leaf being in the position that it is. This is a very, very on purpose for the leaf almost just to open across the top of the candle to show sort of the hand of nature almost, the awakening, the fertility, the growth of something growing forth over the candle. I'll show you the cauldrons following that back up this idea. See how the leaf here and the leaf there as well, of course. So again, these two spell cauldrons were requested too. I really preferred two in this circumstance as well. I think every time two have been requested, it's worked really well with the energy that they complement each other. They're not the same, but they complement each other, and for that this allowed the energies of Coronanos and Brigitte to have their own spell cauldron effectively. However, for the correlation energy, the interlinking ideas and themes, and indeed herb, flower, berry, etc., that correspond to both, to be present in both, which gives that sort of symmetry, but not exactly the same. So it's exciting, I love it. And I wanted white at the basis for both. White is a colour that really speaks to me of this time of year, and it speaks of going from in bulk with very, very white colours in the world. Snowdrops are hugely associated with in bulk, which of course is associated with Brigitte. Moving forward into spring, so we have all that white and that frost and that snowdrops and all that beautiful white, downy, swan feather, purification energy behind the white. Moving into spring. And white can also, of course, be associated with deer, the white hart, H-A-R-T, which draws back to Coronanos. The mythical hunt also being drawn back because white hart being chased by the wild hunt, which is Celtic lore, and it would take me all day to go on about in a video that's already quite long, so it's just there for that correlation. And then the two colours complementing one another and representing masculine and feminine. Then we have the spell pendant, as requested. I went a little bit far on the camera. I went a little bit more down the pink road with this. I was in two minds about how to actually present the spell pendant, and what I felt very strongly in the end, because I initially was mixing green and pink within, and it didn't quite sit the way that I think it really needed to within the spell pendant. It didn't look how I wanted it. So what we actually went with is a correlation of crystal and berry, which can relate to both and relate to the underlying themes of fertility and nature, that lusty energy, that birth energy, and pink, which was requested. So last but not least is the spell oil. Very much about woodland scene, reflecting an energy of woodland as we have already ascribed. So there we go. I hope you like it. I really enjoyed this set. I think the colour play is something that I adore. The mixing of energies was really beautiful. Again, there will be two pillars as requested. They're just, the second one is in process because the pillars take a little while. Because it's just me crafting as I do. So I hope you like it. And this is the Stag and the Swan spell set. Many blessings.